Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 7, and this will be my trailer breakdown for The Flash Season 7 Episode 6, titled The One with the 90s. And yeah, from the trailer and the synopsis for this episode, you can tell that that is the perfectly fitting title for this episode. So throughout the season 7 storyline, we have been exploring the different forces, in which we find out that the Speed Force isn't the only cosmic infinite source of energy out there in the multiverse, but there are 4 others, in which during episode 4 we got introduced to Freza, who seems to be the embodiment of the Strength Force, and she's the one who used the Strength Force during episode 4. Last episode we got introduced to Psych, who is the embodiment of the Sage Force, and last episode we also saw the return of the embodiment of the Speed Force, that being Nora Allen. And it seems like for this episode we will be introduced to Steadfast, who is the user and the embodiment of the Still Force. But before I go over anything, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. Now, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to show you guys the trailer due to copyright issues. I just don't want to risk disputing the copyright claim if I put the trailer for this video. So for that purpose, I'm just not going to play the trailer. As cool as this trailer looks and as fun as it looks, I'm not going to play the trailer. But it will be linked in the description down below, so you guys could obviously check it out. But we do also have a synopsis to go over for this episode. So I will firstly go over the synopsis, as it does give us a better idea in regards to what we should expect for this episode, and it goes a bit more in detail about the overall storyline in general. So the synopsis kicks off as followed. Cisco and Chester travel back in time and get stuck in 1998. Repeating the same day over and over again, the key to returning home is at Chester's childhood home, but he refuses to visit. Meanwhile, Iris forges a connection with the Speed Force. Now, just a quick breakdown for the synopsis. Obviously, this is a time travel / time loop episode with Chester and Cisco going back to the year of 1998. Now, the reason for this time travel is revealed during the trailer, so I'll talk about that when I go over the trailer breakdown itself. Now, when I first did my synopsis breakdown for this episode before the trailer even came out, like a couple of weeks ago, you guys wouldn't have known how apprehensive I was about this episode, because at first it seemed like it was going to be like a filler character-centered episode. But now that I actually saw the trailer, I am so excited for this episode, because although this episode still seems to be Chester focused, it still focuses on the main storyline, so I really like that. Thank God they didn't make it a separate filler episode. I really like them staying along with the story. And also, once again, I was worried about the whole Iris thing and her forging a connection with the Speed Force. Now that I actually saw last episode, I do further understand what they are trying to do with this, and it's just, she's just trying to talk with the Speed Force, I guess, since the embodiment of the Speed Force is now around in Star Labs. But yeah, on to the trailer breakdown. So this trailer kicks off with Chester and Cisco both hanging out by the looks of it. Now, it does seem like they are working on something techie, judging from what's behind them, but all of a sudden they are hit by a massive green wave of energy, and it is obviously the Still Force. So yeah, Steadfast will be the user of the Still Force, and he's sending them back in time to the year of 1998. And that will be very interesting to see. Now, as far as I'm aware, Steadfast doesn't have the ability to exactly travel people in time, but more so, makes people relive memories. So by the looks of it, this is changed in the show, and it seems like Steadfast can travel people back in time, which seems to be pretty OP. Or it could also be that this will be like an Arrow Season 8 Episode 6 episode, where Oliver wasn't exactly at that certain place, but subconsciously he was. So this could be that type of an episode where they are knocked out, but subconsciously they're in 1998 and they're able to move and do the things, but they are asleep. So as I said, kind of like the reset episode from Arrow Season 8, kind of like that. That does kind of make a lot more sense, saying that this is not only a time travel episode, but it is time loop related as well. So it seems like they're going to have to do something in order to get out. That is where the synopsis comes in handy. The key to returning home is at Chester's childhood home, but he refuses to visit. So yeah, by the looks of it over here, it seems like this episode is going to be Chester related, and it will be very interesting to see why he is refusing to visit this childhood home. Has Chester had like a rough childhood or something growing up? I'm not entirely sure, but the fact that he's refusing to visit his home shows like there's something a lot more like, emotionally deeper to it, which I cannot wait to see what it is. But we do have Chester and Cisco over here in the year of 1998 in Masonville. Now, Masonville did have some Easter eggs with Barry's childhood as well, and that Barry told Savitar during season 3 about this best memory he had with his parents. So will we get some young Barry Easter eggs or something like that? Who knows? Yeah, they are in like a blockbuster movie area, and both of them seem to be confused. Now, Cisco obviously noticed that they time traveled to the year of 1998. Yeah, with these two characters just geeking out about this episode is just going to be a blast. It's going to be so much fun. Since they're in the 90s, fashion is obviously a lot different in the 90s compared to our present day, which results to both Chester and Cisco having to change their attires to obviously fit in. And yeah, they have a really edgy drip going on. Now, we do have this shot of Barry and he's looking at Iris. So clearly Barry is out of the cryo temperature sleep over here. Now, due to the lack of Barry in this trailer, I'm assuming he will still be in cryo sleep from when this episode picks up. But towards like the middle or end of the episode, maybe he recovers and gets out and he realizes that Cisco and Chester are in some sort of trouble. I'm not entirely sure. Will we have Barry go to confront Steadfast and he ends up going to the 1990s as well, where Cisco and Chester are? I'm not entirely sure. But we do also have this shot of Barry running as the Flash. Now, this isn't anything new. This is a recycled shot from the opening scene of the premiere episode, The Flash Season 7 Episode 1, titled All's Well That Ends Well, where Barry escapes cryo temperature sleep and he just goes after Eva. That was the same shot as that, so it's not anything new, and I doubt we will have that much flashy action over here. This episode just seems to be like, a fun, character-centered episode with Chester and Cisco, but also it's related to the story, but like, not that much related to Barry as the Flash. We could obviously have some flashy action, I could be wrong about that, but from this recycled shot, I doubt that we'll see anything like, that cool of the Flash during this episode. But we do have this reading scanner on the screen, and this is probably to help locate the issue which is taking place, and like, so they could find a way back to present day or something along those lines. Maybe this could be a device which helps them identify geothermal isotope readings so that they could identify who is doing this to them, because we obviously found out during last episode that the way they could identify the Force users are from these heavy readings of geothermal isotope readings. So obviously when Frueza arrived, we had these earthquakes, and then we had geothermal isotope readings when she appeared to face off the Flash. And then also from last episode, we had Psych, who also had some geothermal isotope readings. So did the Speed Force. The Speed Force herself also had some geothermal isotope readings. So it seems like, these geothermal isotope readings have something to do with identifying whether or not somebody is like, a cosmic entity or like a Force user. So maybe this device that they're holding allows them to like, see who is not doing this to them. I'm not entirely sure. But while they're trying to find out who's doing this, obviously we do see Cisco and Chester just vibing and having fun as well. By the looks of it over here, you guys can just tell this is just going to be such a fun episode, especially with these two, and with them being like so similar to each other. They'll probably have like the same tastes as well, so yeah, that'll be really fun to see. Now the thing is, the device Chester seems to be holding looks old. I'm not sure if that is on purpose or not. Maybe Chester and Cisco gather some parts from this period of time, maybe in Chester's childhood home or something like that, and they're able to build some sort of tech which helps them guide them through this journey and find a way out, but also find the person responsible. I'm not entirely sure. Or do they already have this device with them and they just don't build it in this dream, they already have it? I'm not entirely sure. Now lastly, we have Chester and Cisco looking confused as they stare at this person in confusion. This person is actually a cloaked figure, and it will be Steadfast by the looks of it. And as I said before, Steadfast is the user of the Still Force, so that being the Green Lightning. Now obviously we do not see the person, so I cannot 100% confirm whether this will be Steadfast or not, but judging from the facial expressions of both Cisco and Chester, it seems like it will be Steadfast or an antagonist at least. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm very interested to see what is going on over here, because this episode just looks so much fun, and yeah, I just cannot wait to see it. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section down below whether you guys are excited for this episode. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.